Crocodiles, caimans, and alligators are some of the most feared creatures on the planet. They have a knack to attack and eat anything that comes their way. But sometimes these guys encounter other animals that give them a tough time or outrightly defeat them. From little cute-looking mammals that rain hell on them to the biggest land mammal they tussle with, these are the top 6 animals that can defeat crocodiles, caimans, and alligators. Number 6. Elephants. Elephants are usually very peaceful and easygoing animals in the jungle, but just because they're gentle giants doesn't mean they wouldn't attack a crocodile, especially when they have to protect their young or obtain hall passes to the drinking holes. After all, they weigh nearly 10 times more than crocodiles. In this clip, the elephant seems to have its trunk clutched by a crocodile, but he uses his immense strength to break free from its jaws and teach him a little lesson by putting his foot through his face. I don't think that croc would disturb any elephant ever again. Sometimes elephants are not always this successful in fighting crocodiles. For instance, when this elephant almost had its trunk snatched from its tusks, he immediately began to shake his head to free himself. And when he did, the crocodile was quick to retreat to the river to avoid ending up like the other guy. Meanwhile, elephants have been left to fight for their lives against these crocodiles that are seemingly unfazed by their size. And as you can see in these clips, they only ever attack elephants at the drinking holes, while the onus lies on the elephants to free themselves. Number 5. Jaguars. Seeing a jaguar in the water like this guy is definitely not as strange as it looks. These guys are actually pretty good swimmers. In fact, they're the best of the big cats. Olympic standard. Okay, enough with the flattery. Let's talk about what they eat. Jaguars have a long list of animals they feed on. They eat anything they find in the river and along the riverbanks, including caimans. So when these guys get close enough to attack a caiman, it's game over. Did you see how the jaguar neutralized the caiman with just one bite? Fatal. In this next clip, we see a jaguar as it stealthily makes its way towards its lunch. Along the river, the caiman is not the hunter, but the hunted. Usually, jaguars use their speed and agility to beat the caiman in a quick draw game when the pair face off. They strike from behind by jumping on their necks, which is one of the areas of weakness for caiman and crocodiles. So the jaguar patiently lays an ambush, waiting for the right time to launch its surprise attack. And when it does, he emerges with big game. After this, I bet the jaguar will be making some caiman skin shoes and belts. Number 4. Lions. Of course, you'd expect the king of the jungle to defeat a crocodile, but these lions have one tough croc on their hands. The crocodile bravely fights off 2 lions. However, you could also say the lions didn't look hungry or had other things on their mind. Lions and crocodiles fight over food all the time. Sometimes they try to dialogue and negotiate the terms of engagement in and around the watering holes like in this video. But things get a little heated between the lions and the crocodile chief. You know how hard it is for 2 powerhouses to come to an agreement, right? Things go from bad to worse, especially for the crocodile, who's outnumbered 3-1 and ends up pretty beat up. In this next clip, we see this lion make an easy meal of a little young crocodile. The lioness must have been very hungry to have attacked such a small prey, and you could also see that she wasn't ready to let the others in on her catch. Greedy little girl. And finally, we've got a crocodile forced to defend itself against 5 lions. The crocodile was there to get a piece of the lion's leftovers. The lions weren't going to let him have it so easily. So the crocodile decided to take on the lions for a piece of their catch. Outmanned and outmuscled, the croc retreats to its base and lives to fight another day. Number 3. Otters. The cute and diminutive stature of otters make them one you'd least expect to go up against the big, strong jaws of caimans, but they're some of the fiercest animals in the world. Furthermore, these guys are closer to the top of the food chain than you think. They're close to being apex predators despite their size. Here we can see a caiman attempting to attack a group of otters having a good time in the water. The otters spot the caiman, but instead of panicking and scramming, the otters pick a safe spot and take the fight to the crocodile. The croc was so overwhelmed that he didn't know what else to do but leave them be. Next, we've got a family of otters defending themselves against a huge caiman. The caiman lays in wait in the bushes, looking to ambush the otters. Little did he know, he's been made, and he's the one about to be ambushed by the otter family. The female otter leads the charge, while the male goes the other way to try and distract the caiman. It's showtime! The otters then engaged the caiman in an attempt to dissuade him from his mission, but he wouldn't back down so easily. Before long, the cubs, who'd been told to stay at a safe distance, join in the fight, and the battle takes another turn. Seeing that their kids' lives were now at stake, the otters go all in and take down the caiman for good. But their victory came with a painful price. They'd lost 2 of their cubs. Number 2, hippopotamuses. Hippos are arguably a crocodile's biggest foe for a couple of reasons. First off, hippos are very territorial and can't stand the sight of other animals in their domain, not even humans. And because they share similar habitats, they usually fight each other whenever their paths cross, with the hippos going the extra mile to ensure the crocs are out of their turf. And secondly, hippos can bite a crocodile in half without much effort. It'd be like me biting through a jumbo hamburger. Easy. So when this croc got caught in a hippo pool, he must have thought he'd never make it out alive. Luckily, he survived the encounter with mere bruises and tales to tell his grandkids. And in this clip, George, the angry hippo, tells the crocodile to leave the riverbank the only way he knows how, by nibbling on its tail. And I think the croc gets the message. Number 1, house cats. Believe it or not, house cats have been captured giving alligators a run for their money. No joke. They probably looked at their bigger cousins and said, "Hey, I can take these guys too." Check out how this cat gives the alligator a total stare down. He doesn't even flinch as he steps closer to the large reptile before finally landing a swipe that sends the gator running to the safety of the river. I knew cats were crazy, but I never knew they were this crazy. You thought that couldn't be real? How about seeing another cat take a page out of the other cat's playbook? This cat tried fending off an alligator, but failed to land a blow at its first 3 swipes. But the gator, seeing that this is another brave, crazy cat, decided to leave it alone. I think I should get one of those cats soon. See you next time.